Hey guys, what's up? This is Ken Kowalski from Second 50 Strong, and today we're going to talk about why lifting heavy is the best investment you can ever make. Let's do this. All right, guys, the best form of exercise for us men in our 50s is strength training. Hands down. There are other great kinds of exercise, but it all should revolve around a foundation of strength training. And we do strength training using the core 4 exercises, which are the squat, the deadlift, bench press, and the press. These are the 4 exercises that allow us to keep our weight training program short, simple, and safe. Because those are the 3 traits that we need to make sure we keep coming back again and again and again to keep doing these exercises over the long term, right? We need something short that fits into our busy lifestyle. We need something simple. We don't want to have rocket science studying to be able to do our exercise program. We need something that we know we can do. We can get feedback from our body if we're doing it correctly, and that also keeps us safe. We can't get stronger if we're hurt, right? That's just impossible. So we need to make sure we're keeping things safe when we're exercising, because we don't want to accumulate little injuries over time and end up feeling miserable instead of great like we're supposed to. These 3 attributes allow us to utilize the magic formula for getting stronger, actually the magic formula for doing anything, and that is do it again. We need to make sure we do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. If I worked out really hard for an entire year and got all the medical benefits and physical benefits and mental and emotional benefits from that, 3 years later, it would have done nothing for me. It would have all gone away. I'd be sending the die signals to my body instead of the grow signals, right? So we need to make sure we can do this consistently over time. And utilizing these 4 exercises of lifting heavy with them is the best investment we can ever make to a great second 50 years of our life. So when I say heavy, I get the fact that it's a big turnoff for a lot of people, especially us who are starting to do exercise, right? Starting to do strength training. We get the idea of these jacked dudes with these barbells bending over the top of them with all of these plates stacked on, or we even get the impression that we're gonna get crushed by all of these unruly, uncontrollable weights, wondering what the hell are we doing here? None of that is true. Okay, let's define what heavy actually is. Heavy is the most amount of weight you can put on a bar while still maintaining perfect, correct form in your desired rep and set range. So you might want to do 3 sets, doing it 3 times, of say 6 reps. You can do all of those with correct, perfect form while still having the amount of weight on that is challenging yourself. So we want to be able to have it be doable, but challenging. That's what's really important. If it's not challenging, you're wasting your time. I don't care if it's learning a language, the guitar, math, whatever. If you're not challenging yourself, you're completely wasting your time, but you also need it to be doable. And that's what heavy is. The most amount of weight you can put on the bar while you maintain perfect, correct form through your desired set and rep range. Now that also typically means leaving a rep in your tank. Okay, I used to call it years ago leaving a rep in your pocket. What that means is you stop before that ugly, wobbly, wiggly rep that you've got to squirm around to finish, right? I can't count how many times over the decades of working out I've hurt myself doing that. I also can't count how many times I've hurt myself putting too much weight on the bar because my ego thought I should keep increasing the weight on the bar when my body knew I shouldn't. So we're going to avoid those with the correct term of heavy. The form has to be perfect, and we stop before that wiggly, ugly last rep. We're in our 50s now, guys. We don't heal as fast as we used to. I know, I see it on the internet all the time. If someone held a gun to your head, you could get 1 more rep in, so get that last rep in. That's what's gonna get you stronger. Great. For people in your 20s and your 30s, Man, my 16-year-old, he freaking grunts and groans and strains out every rep. Good for him. I can see the testosterone literally dripping out of his ears. Good for him. He can do all of that. We're in our 50s now. We don't want that, right? We don't want to get injured by having really bad form, squeaking out a rep that we probably should not have done anyway. So we're gonna put on heavy weights, which means it's doable within our set and rep range with perfect form, and we're leaving that last rep in the tank. We're not doing it because that allows us to come back another day. And as we go through Second 50 Strong and our workout protocol, you're gonna notice basically everything is with a barbell, because barbells are the safest way to work out. It's just the truth. I don't care what anyone else says. Barbells are the safest way to work out. They're the most stable. You're using both arms. It's balanced on both sides. You start in a safe racking position that you don't have to throw these dumbbells up to get to, and you can slowly increase the weights by very small amounts, actually, which are wonderful with little micro plates, even if you need to. So we're doing all of this with a barbell in a weight rack. Now, why do I say that lifting heavy is the best investment you can make? Well, typically when people decide if an investment is good or not, they look at ROI, return on investment. And that means, to me, the amount of money you put in initially versus what you get out at the end, right? What you put in versus what you get out is return on investment. So for a fact, I have done this for many years myself, you can get a great workout and get very healthy and very strong working out 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week. That's all you need. 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week, right? It follows one of our mottos at Second 50 Strong is get in, get to work, get out, go do something else, right? That's how it should be done. Your workout is not social hour. Your workout is not looking in the mirror the whole time, although you can when you're working out, that's fine, but not the whole time. It's get in, get to work, get out, go do something else within that 30-minute time. And if you're new, I recommend that is all you do, and maybe even a little less. If you're advanced and you've been working out for a while and you want to work out for longer than 30 minutes, I work out for longer than 30 minutes, you certainly can. But you don't need to get massive health and strength benefits and life-changing benefits from lifting heavy. So 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week is 2 hours. That's it. Now, what do you get out of all of that? You get to look better, feel better, sleep better, have more energy, be happier, do more with your life, and do more with the money you've saved. Literally be medically healthier and have less pain, which is such a wonderful thing. So all of those, and guys, this isn't me just rattling this stuff off. This is medical science. Medical science tells us this. They have seen this in their studies of what happens to the human body when it strength trains, when it exercises. We talked about this with the myokines getting released from your muscles. Your muscles are an organ, they realize now, not just contractile tissue. They are sending out proteins, little peptides to the rest of your body, making you literally medically healthier, happier, smarter, all of that. So with that 2 hours a week, there are 168 hours in a week. You get back all of those benefits for 168 hours because you're sleeping better. You're getting medically healthier while you're sleeping. So it is a 24-hour thing. So if you put in 2 hours of work and you get out 168 hours of benefit, guys, the return on that, I did a little return calculator, is 8,300%. 8,300% return, putting in 2 hours a week, getting out 168 hours a week of benefit. Show me a better investment than that. And here is the craziest part of all. It's guaranteed. You go invest your money somewhere, it's a risk. You don't even know what's going to happen. Getting these benefits from strength training is guaranteed. You have a mammalian human body. You have to respond to strength training this way. Unless you have, and I hope you don't, and if you do, I'm sorry, unless you have some kind of degenerative neurological or muscular disease, if you don't, and I hope you don't, your body must respond this way. You got no choice. If you go and strength train, these benefits will happen to you on a biochemical basis. You can't even choose for it to happen or not. These results are guaranteed. That 8,300% return is literally guaranteed. Now, let's spread it out over 5 years and look at some other investments, okay? Let's show me, say you think some other investments are better. Let's say for 5 years, you put in 2 hours, you get out 168 a benefit, okay? So you get 8,300% spread out one time over 5 years. Let's look at some other investments. If you invested in Apple over the last 5 years, you would have gotten a 323% improvement. If you invested in Bitcoin, you would have gotten a 641% return on your money. If you invested in NVIDIA, you would have gotten a, hold on, I wrote it down, 3,000%. NVIDIA killed it last 5 years. 3,000% improvement on your ROI. But none of that is even close to 8,300. It's not even close, and that wasn't even guaranteed. Everyone who invested in that had no idea if it was going to be that successful or not. If you invest in your heavy weightlifting, you're guaranteed. You know for a fact it's going to give you that 8,300% return. Now, there are two catches. Everything's got a catch, of course. One is you got to pay for something. You're either going to pay for your gym membership, you got to take the time to drive there, take the time to drive back. I get it. Or you got to buy your own gear and bring it into your house. Get a power rack, get a barbell, get some weights. That's what I did. That's actually what I recommend, but that can't be for everybody. You might be in an apartment, you might be in a home that just isn't a possibility. So either way, you are spending money. And you're probably, if you have to go to a gym, spending more time. Great. Let's say that cuts your return in half. Let's say that takes away half of your ROI on your 2 hour a week investment. Now you're down to 4,150%. 4,150%. That still beats Apple. That still beats Bitcoin. That still beats NVIDIA. Even if you cut your return in half, knowing you got to pay for something and you need to probably drive somewhere and back if you don't have a setup in your own home. There is nothing better than that. Now, what's the second caveat? You got to work up to heavy weight. I don't want you if you're new to working out and lifting weights, the last thing you should do is walk into a gym, find your heavy weight, and start, which is the most amount of weight you can do at correct form, and just start working out. You'll tear your body apart. Guys, waking up the next morning after you go to the gym and feeling ridiculously sore, like your muscles are shredded and you can barely move, will not have you want to go back to the gym again, right? I always say, going back to the gym is the real win, but the best win is wanting to go back to the gym, right? You're not gonna wanna go back to the gym if you literally are sore, you wonder why your knee feels like it got tweaked a little bit, you're in pain, you gotta go to work, and you can't even barely move. We don't want that. So when you start strength training, and this is what I tell all my patients to do after I discharge them, when you start strength training, go to the gym, do a quarter of what you think you should do. That's it. That's not much, right? You're going to think I'm crazy. For some of us, that might just be the barbell. Do a quarter of what you think you can do, and then get the hell out of there. Do that for a whole week. Cycle through your 30 minutes 4 times a week, doing a quarter of what you think you can do. Then the next week, only do a half, and then get the hell out of there. The next week, you see the pattern here, only do 3/4 of what you think you can do. And then on your 4th week, only on your 4th week, you want to build up to actually finding your heavy weight. Guys, you got to get your tendons ready for this. You got to get your ligaments ready for this. Obviously, your muscles ready for this. You got to get your nervous system ready for this. Maybe even your cardiovascular system. You want to increase your heart rate? Do a set of squats, right? Your cardiovascular system has to get ready for this. You don't just want to go cannonballing into the pool, because if you do too much too soon, you're going to hate it, right? What we want is for your exercise program is to kind of look like a jet taking off. Now, jets are powerful machines, but they don't just jump in the air. They have to start from a dead stop, slowly build up their momentum down the runway, gain speed, and finally, over time, they get fast enough where they can take off into the air. That is exactly what I want for you guys. And if you're new to working out and strength training, it's okay to have a long runway. I want you to have a long runway and slowly build on up. So when you hit that heavy weight, it's doable. It might even be enjoyable. It's something you can look forward to. It feels empowering instead of something that shreds you to pieces and you hated it the next day. So slowly build yourself on up as you go. And if you do that, that will make lifting heavy the best investment you can ever do in your life for you. Remember, guys, money's great, but you need a healthy body to enjoy it. I see so many men who've worked their butts off all of their life, and they get too frail and too weak to enjoy the money they've earned. Don't be that guy. Make sure that you keep a strong, healthy body that can keep your 60s, 70s, and 80s an adventure in your life to be able to enjoy the money you made. So this is the investment that lets you use and enjoy all your other investments, right? Of heavy strength training. We're going to get into more here in these videos. I'm also rebuilding my website on what this actually looks like, how we're actually going to do it to be able to strength train consistently over time. The magic is in the consistency and the frequency, not the intensity. Don't worry about that. I know there's a lot of guys out there that are like, you got to push it or you're wasting your time. Most people who follow that advice quit at some point. What we want is for you to do this for years to stay strong. Remember, we're either sending grow messages from our muscles contracting hard or die messages to inside our body from our muscles not contracting hard. And those die messages work pretty damn quick, right? We need to keep sending those grow messages year after year after year after year to make sure our second 50 years are exciting and fun. So give this a try, guys. If you think I'm crazy, if you think this is like, this guy's insane, well, here's the deal. For 6 months, do this exercise program. The core four, the squat, the deadlift, the bench press, and the press, 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week. We're gonna get into more and more on technique and how to do all of this properly. And do it for 6 months and tell me that you don't feel amazing. Tell me that your life hasn't changed. Tell me that you're not healthier, you're not happier, you're not sharper mentally, that you can't do more in your life. You will. You'll be able to do all of those things. So don't ever believe me. I don't want you to believe anybody, ever. You need to find everything out for yourself. So do this. Do a 6-month challenge doing this strength training program of lifting heavy and see if it changes your life. And it will. I dare you. All right, guys, that's it. This is Ken Kowalski at Second 50 Strong. Now you know the best investment you can ever make in your second 50 years of life. Get strong as hell, redefine your prime, and I will see you next time.